So for day 12, we're exploring darkness. And of course, part of that we tend to attribute to darkness is the inability to see. When you hear that word darkness, what conjures up for you? How would you speak of it? I'm sure it's not all negative or it's not all challenging, but oftentimes in the spiritual journey, when we speak about darkness, we speak about going through a time of challenge. When we speak about darkness, we speak about being void of light. It creates a dualistic view of our own path and of the world. And oftentimes, I know when I'm working with people, and I've done it on occasion myself, we seek to be out of the darkness. And I know when our lives are filled with light, there's a natural joy that ensues. I'm in the light. I'm in the light. Everything is light-filled. Everything is replete with the beauty and the glory of God, the Creator. However, darkness is also replete with the beauty of the Creator. And in our personal growth, in our birthing new life in our lives, there's inevitably a period of being undone, or even just a quality of being undone. And that undoneness leaves us in a certain darkness. Maybe it's a darkness around our life call. Maybe it's an obscurity to our sense of presence in our life. Maybe it's a darkness because beliefs that we held we're not sure we hold anymore. So oftentimes it's uncomfortable, but it's a necessary part in order to come to a very new place, so that we're not only experiencing new light, but we're seeing it with new eyes. I think this is where the gospel passage about you don't put new wine into old wineskins comes from. That we are constantly being birthed into a new creation. So today, if nothing else, is a little bit of a twist on the giving birth to God in the world theme that Advent presents. And that is the being birthed as a new creation. Now, the snippet of the poem that I put in the email is from the John of the Cross's renowned work called Dark Night of the Soul. And I can tell you that most everyone uses this phrase and refers to the poem as a time of great trial and tribulation. But if you read his poem, you'll find that even though it's obscura noche, dark night, even though it's called dark night, it's actually his coming into a place of illumination. True illumination. So it's the opposite of being dismantled, destroyed, and in darkness. And dark night, as the poem goes, is a place that we're becoming, that we're moving into. If we have any sense of dualism, the dark and the light, still in our lives, then we're not there yet. We're not in that place of total illumination. I remember having a lovely new viewpoint presented to these days when the light seems to go away so quickly. I was sitting in a coffee shop and struck up a conversation with another woman, and she and I were both expressing that as we're getting older, these shorter days in the winter seem to be harder. When the sun sets, that both she and I seem to experience the same thing, and that's a certain sadness, like, oh no, we're going into the dark and it's going to be so long. And then I can't remember which one of us, but it was she or me, reflected on opening up to the darkness and remembering that there's something in the darkness that seems like an embrace, almost like a super warm blanket at night. And that counterpoints to our experience in the day when things seem bright and open and movement. But the night seemed to be this way we were being held. And it gave a new viewpoint on darkness as something quite awesomely intimate. So this morning's meditation is going to be Psalm 88, which is all about darkness. And I'm going to chant it the way that we've done some of the beginning days. I'll chant one line and then I'll leave space for you to chant that same line after me. And if you wish, just simply sit in the silence as well. You're welcome to do either. But voicing can sometimes evoke the cellular memory and emotional response that lets the psalm or the words open you up more. The goal of this is that you will experience light in what are phrases that are incredibly discouraged and just simply persevering, holding on by a thread almost. Psalm 88 gives you that feel. And the discouragement is in relation to what is most important, and that is relationship to God. So let's begin. If you're holding something, go ahead and set it down. Let your legs be uncrossed, your feet firmly upon the floor. And close your eyes if they're not already closed. And if you're chanting this psalm and you don't use God language, know that that's okay. Just let the word God connote ineffable or source or spirit. Let this psalm be not just literal, but let it be metaphorical. Let it point to times of darkness in your own life or ways that you're in darkness right now. And we focus our attention upon the words, that we may be illumined, and that, like John, we may find that the flaming, pounding in our own hearts may be our one sure guide. O Lord God, who saves me by day, I cry out. At night I cry before you. May my prayer come before you. Turn your ear to my cry. Indeed, my soul has had its fill of trouble. And my life has arrived at the grave. I am treated like those who go down to the pit. I am like someone without strength. I am turned loose with the dead. I am like the slain who lie in the grave. Like the ones you do not remember anymore. Like those who are cut off from your hand. You have put me in the lowest pit. In the dark places in the dead. Your wrath presses against me. You have battered me with all your breakers. You have distanced my acquaintances from me. You have made me repulsive to them. I am shut in and I cannot get out. My eyesight grows dim from affliction. I call to you, O Lord, every day. I spread out my hands to you. Is your mercy declared in the tomb? Your faithfulness in decay. But I cry to you, O Lord, and in the morning my prayer comes before you. Why, O Lord, do you reject my soul? Why do you hide your face from me? I have been afflicted, and I have been close to death since my youth. I have endured your terror. I am in despair. Your rage has swept over me. Your terrors have destroyed me. All day long they surround me like water. They have battered me completely. You have distanced my loved ones and friends from me. My only friend is darkness. And we bring our daily devotion to a close. Sense that when we chant these words, there is a certain stillness, a certain abiding that we experience. This psalm is a maskil, which is a type of hymn. It's a song that is considered to make one wise. In some cultures, it is called a skillful song. So may you today, as I do as well, remain, and let the darkness that is inherent in this life, let it create a skillfulness and a song within us, a song of abiding. Blessings, my friend.